ribbon cuttings and parades. And we had a huge parade on Saturday, loving Trussville City Citizen Foundation float, and Dr. Martin was the bus driver of the float. So we had about 120 floats, and we blocked Highway 11 for 2 hours. But we also have it was a lot, but it's great. It's a great community, which is a great community feel. So we appreciate the chamber for everything that they do on that. Coming up, we have Wreaths Across America, which is this Saturday, starting at 11 o'clock at Jefferson Memorial. It is where we lay a wreath on every soldier's grave in that particular cemetery. And it's a very moving experience. If you get to come, you'll complete, they'll have cannons that'll go off. It's very respectful of the people that have served our country. So I encourage you to be able to come to that. If you see signs being removed on the interstate, AlDOT is replacing all of the signage on I-459 and 59. We have recently hired a grant writer, which is a really good step for the city of Trussville to be able to come in and write grants to help us fund all of the great needs that we want to be able to fund. One of them being the SEEDS grant, which will help us with the Glendale property with the future school coming there. So we're excited about being able to hopefully get some funding towards that. If you haven't noticed, walk-ons opened. One of the parking space we had, but went to their ribbon cutting today. They are officially open. They're going to be great partners with the city. Already donating $5,000 to the Christmas for Kids program, which our fire station, our first responders do and give to families in need. So already being a great partner for the city. And then lastly, our upcoming council meeting, we meet tomorrow night at normal time at 6 o'clock. And then we will have a joint workshop and council meeting on Thursday, the 21st, starting at 5 and going immediately into council. And then we'll be finished with the year. So that's all I have tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. All right. We're going to have some more entertainment coming our way. I'll turn it over to you. Caleb on drums, Noah on trumpet, Luke on trombone, and Echo on tenor sax. So this is they're part of our top cast group. We've got the marching band and the high step
auxiliary. We've got 3 concert bands, 2 jazz ensembles, 2 jazz combos, that's each one of them, and then a indoor percussion ensemble. So this is the first to take part in play. But we've got one more song for you guys. Well, I know he's walking out the door there, but he has expressed several times how excited he is to be here at Trussville High School. Mr. King and I had the opportunity to go to the band concert on Thursday, and I think based on the applause that he got when he was introduced, that Trussville High School is very excited to have him come out. That was the Christmas sweater, ugly sweater. What was the theme of the? I can't remember what it was. Ugly sweater. All right. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. If I could have members of our TCS Foundation please come forward. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, President Donaldson, and also Leslie, if I could, I'll let you present on lunch break.
Dr. Martin. This by far is our most favorite time of the year of being a part of the Trussville City Schools Board Foundation. These grants are funded 100% by the community here of Trussville. They're funded by parents, they're funded by businesses, they're funded by teachers, employees. This is just one of the great ways that we're able to give back to Trussville City Schools. And so I want to go ahead and introduce to you guys, though, all of the members that are here. This is not everyone, but I know that this is really great to have this group here tonight. So the first person is Leslie Armstrong. She is our executive director. Then we have Heather Johnson. We have Nikki Franklin.
We have Nikki Lincoln. I want to call her Nikki Shepherd. Y'all, this is really hard for me. I want to like call them by like their main name. Virginia Morris, Brad Weidman, and Jason White. So we're really excited that all of them are here tonight because we have some really special grants to give tonight to our high school teachers that have applied. And I do want to preface this that y'all, we had a record number of grants that were submitted this year. We had 67 grants that were submitted this year. That is by far the most we have ever had, like almost like double. So that's a lot, and it even makes us more excited because that we're able just to give more money back to our teachers and to it. So tonight we'll be doing high school, and then Wednesday, the big cheese is going back out, which if y'all saw the big cheese, you know that we were in the parade. And we will be hitting up our elementary schools as well as middle schools and awarding those grants on Wednesday. So we're super excited about that. So we are going to, I'm first going to bring up people to present these grants. This content, who is going to be coming first. So if I could have Miss Nikki Franklin first.
Sorry. So the grant I would like to tell y'all about this evening is called Discretion in the Library. As we all know, our high schoolers have very busy schedules these days. This grant will allow our library to serve as a place where our high schoolers can come and take a breath during their lunch and study period. They will be able to work on puzzles, they will be able to color, they'll be able to work on Picasso magnet blocks, or just sit and sit. So on behalf of the Trussville City School Foundation and the generous community of Trussville, we would like to present this check to Ms. Laura Massey and the Hewitt Trussville High School Library.
And next, Heather Johnson, please.
It's my pleasure to present this grant to the high school ceramics program. So in the grant application, the ceramics teacher explains that up until now, students have only been able to paint the glaze on their pottery, which sort of limits their creativity to a certain degree. And so one of the cool techniques that she's often talking to the students about is spraying on the glaze. And so she applied for this grant for an air compressor, a boot to spray the glaze on the ceramics, and an airbrush. And so we're super excited. This will not only benefit her current students, but they're working on an AP program for ceramics at the high school. And so it will benefit a lot of her future students as well. So I think over 200 students will benefit from this piece of equipment. So we're super excited to present on behalf of the Trussville City Schools Foundation and the generous people of the Trussville community to Rebecca Munkachi. Okay. So for Rebecca, Julian.
And Joy is our liaison for the teachers and staff of Trussville City Schools to the foundation. And next is
I'm particularly excited to tell you about the grant that we will be awarding tonight to the electrical construction course and program in teacher George Logan, particularly because I'm a parent of a child in his class, and I see firsthand the positive impact that his course has, as well as my husband works with him a lot with real world experiences from classroom to the construction world. So his grant is virtual reality headsets, and for his kids to be able to practice and bridge the skill gap in the virtual world to the real world. So it provides a little bit more of a safer environment for some of these kids. It just provides so much more practice and experience. And so on behalf of the Trussville City Schools Foundation and the Trussville community, I am super excited to present George Logan with his grant.
Okay, I think I'm next. So I am super excited to be able to present this next grant to our culinary program at Trussville High School. I have had the amazing privilege of working with Chef Hallman through lots of things, but most recently even on her advisory board. And one of the things with Chef Hallman and her program that many of you probably know is that it is top of the line. We have had the culinary program actually cater our functions through the Trussville City Schools Board Foundation. And every time there are more and more compliments that we continue to get from her students, not just on the food that they are providing, but also the service that they are providing. So the grant that we are awarding tonight to Chef Hallman is actually another way for her students to not only kind of work on their skill, but also work on their skill of service. And so Chef Hallman has written a grant for an espresso bar for high school teachers to have espresso for high school teachers once a week during fourth period. So during this opportunity, not only will the teachers be able and the students be able to just converse with service, but this is also going to be a chance for them to be able to raise money for all of the things that go into their program. So it's a win-win situation in our book because they are constantly doing NASA, competitions. They are traveling, and they are also having to do a lot of their own fundraising for the things that they do. So I am super stoked, Chef Hallman, to be able to present a grant to you for $1,500 for your espresso. And next up, Virginia Morris.
Well, I am also personally excited to present one of the two grants that are going to the Engineering Academy at the high school. I'm personally excited because I have two boys that are in ninth grade that have started out in the Engineering Academy this year and love it. Love it. They say it all the time. You guys, it's their favorite class and it's so interesting and it's way more technical than I can understand. So write down a couple of points for this grant. This is Mr. Cook's grant that he submitted, is for a new electrical unit equipment. Again, it is very technical, so I'm not even going to go into everything that he wrote. But the bottom line is they're named by some new soldering irons that are safer for students to use. Some power supplies that will allow them to do not just demos for the whole class, but the kids can do individual labs with those. And it'll increase the safety and help them learn how to make circuit boards. Is what I got from it. So again, very technical. I've heard the short film technical award, but I'm very excited to present this to you on behalf of the
Brad Wyman, please.
Good evening. This next grant is also going to benefit our engineering academy at Trussville High School as well. The submission for this was Printing for the Future, and the funds are going to be to purchase a multicolored 3D printer for our engineering academy. The ability to print digital designs to life through 3D printing provide students with a tangible representation of their ideas. So this is their ideas are gonna be able to come to life with some of their designs. So I'm extremely excited on behalf of the Trussville City Schools Foundation and the Trussville community to provide a check to Mr. Jason Dooley for $1,485.
And last but certainly not least, just Mike.
I have the privilege of presenting a grant to the Alternative Learning Center. It is in the form of a stress relief fund, which I think we could all, use every now and then. It's just to allow students to be able to have an outlet to, work on their stress, work on more positive outcomes, and, just any situations that are frustrating, just have a room that you can go to and work everything out. And that will be going to Don Kilgore and the Alternative Learning Center.
So if everything can come back up really quick for just one picture who has received a check, that would be fantastic. You don't have to bring your check with you if you want to, you can bring it, that's great. We just want to get one picture, please, with everyone. And also, I wanted to let you also all know that all of the grants were judged by a panel. So it's a very, very stressful, and I have to commend Heather Johnson and just give her props. She organized all of this. And we take, just so you guys know, we take a percentage of all the grants that are received from each school, and we equally distribute them throughout all of the schools. So, which is awesome. So if you want your school to receive more grants, guess what that means? Apply for more grants. That's how this works. So yes, so. While they're doing that, thank you to the donation for all of you all do and all the work you all do to and earn this money for our schools. So thank you for all you do. Leslie, will learn five. Leslie.
Just, I just wanted to be for what Kim said. Thank y'all, Foundation. Y'all are one of the hardest working boards we have in the city. And it's a volunteer job. And y'all are the citizens that make our city and our schools so much better. And we appreciate it. I've served on that board. I know how hard y'all work. And I just want y'all to know how much we appreciate that. And I know our teachers and our schools appreciate it. So thank y'all so much.
I've been looking forward to this evening. We've got a lot of great recognitions. Just had the opportunity to hand out grants from our wonderful foundation. And now we get to congratulate our teachers of the year for each one of our schools. So with that said, I think we have a video. If you would please pay attention to the screen.
I am Naomi Fox. I am working at Secret Act. My mom actually got there when I was in first grade, so I consider going through fourth grade, all my teachers and kids that we have kids in my life. So they kind of state the foundation of the world, okay, which they weren't really worried about academics and like, they didn't worry about my
just, right when I got into college, I was gonna do, physical therapy. Then I took a few classes, see what it was like, and didn't like it. Knew I wanted to work with children, so we're learning on children's problems. These kids are just passion, really. I'm always at the kids table, what makes them do practice. Fun games, and I'm quick to think of things to keep them engaged. And I love that they're so curious. That's really it. They're so curious, and they ask you lots of questions, and they want they want to be your friend. They really do. But every day, definitely, you can't plan a full day. You know, exactly how you need to do it. Not gonna happen. But it's really full of food and full of fun, you know, that's impossible. And you really, really, you're not that teacher. You have 20 hats that you're wearing. All that. You're the nurse. You're the counselor. You're the supporter. You're giving disciplinary actions. You're teaching them safety and leadership skills. So, some of these things are some fun. They tend to be one of those and first to kind of build them to be a good community. The thing that helps me keep teaching is you do the only group of students that are there. They're all different every year, so different. And we honestly have 3 groups each year, so 3 brand new groups, and each one of our groups is different. But my hope and goal is not that they go the next year and ready for fifth grade. I obviously want that, but for the character skills and leadership skills to play through, so there's a lot.
My name's Hannah White. I teach at Hannah Elementary, 3rd grade. I think it's 5th grade. And I've been here for 5 years now. Since I was a little girl, I have loved working with kids, and my mom, she's been a teacher her whole life. And so I grew up in being in the classroom after school and hanging out around teachers. And I truly feel like this is my calling. This is what God has created me to do. And so I don't feel like I'm coming to work every day. I feel like it's a gift that I get to teach these kids, and it's neat to get to reflect on how a dream of mine has come true, really. I feel a lot of kids coming in with a low self-confidence, and so my goal is that by the time they leave this room, they're confident in who they are, they believe in themselves, they realize, wow, I may struggle in reading, but I can do it, or I may struggle in math, but Miss What told me that I have gifts in these areas, and I'm going to really start to excel in those areas where I have gifts. And so I don't want them to ever leave feeling defeated. I think that's a battle that I'm constantly facing, just trying to remind them. For me, my desire is that the kids know their values, their worth, they're important, they're beautifully and wonderfully made. And so I think if they know that, they're going to give 110% in the classroom, and they have a purpose. They can be leaders out in the world. They know that they can face challenges. They can overcome them. When you get bogged down with all the little teeny things that you have to do, look at the fact of their hands, because there's people and they want your attention and they want to learn and they want to know how honest they are, and you get to do that for them. And so it's worth it. The relationships you're going to build are worth it. And invest in a relationship, and don't get so overwhelmed with thinking you have to have the most perfect lesson plan. So the relationships are worth it. So my name is Kylie Collins, and I am a 4th grade math and science teacher at Trussville Elementary School in Trussville. Growing up, didn't have like the easiest childhood. Both my parents struggled with addiction. I remember school always being like my escape, a safe place to become. I made 8 different times to school. And teachers would ask me, like that was the most stable adult figure in my life, because I was my classroom teacher. So I feel like teaching allowed me to be the adult that I needed to be. Even if there's one kid in one class in a class who
even if there's adults or in school is a safe place, I feel like that's all I can ask for, and all I can look for in the future. I mean, ask any teacher, we're not in it for the money, no one can say that. We are relationship builders, as teachers, that's what we do, we build relationships, nothing else happens if we don't have that, so to take that time and pour your energy into building this relationship, everything else falls into place. And I find myself in within 2 months, teaching, this is someone's entire world, this is someone's entire world. They may have been hoped and paid for years before they were welcomed into their family. And so you want to make sure that you are treating every kid just like they're your own. And that's in the future. These kids aren't just my students, these are my babies. They're always going to be my babies. Teaching them is not an individual sport. It is a team sport. So as soon as you realize that you have all of these people around you that you can see the resources, like don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated by the teacher who's been teaching for 40 years. Go and use them as a resource. Let them know, hey, I'm struggling with this, or hey, I have this idea when you think about it. Build those relationships early on and use those people around you as resources. And it really will help you develop around you.
I taught sixth grade 20 years. I did stay at home with my children. So I taught kindergarten before, and then got placed in a sixth grade classroom. So I thought it was kind of a joke at first, like, why are you taking from sixth grade? But honestly, the sixth graders are like the beginning of their secondary education. So it's very similar that these understand you. I love sixth grade. I love it. As soon as I set foot in a sixth grade classroom, I knew that's what I was supposed to do. I did love math. I was one of the kids that I had to break it down for myself. And I do feel like that a lot of my teaching style is because I would have to break things down for me, and I can scaffold it down for students to better understand it and comprehend what I'm trying to teach. I know when I was in school, teachers they kind of sat behind the desk and gave you a textbook and told you to do pages 2 through 3. I used a lot of the way I was taught to strategically create my plan for my students, because I want to be that teacher that's behind the desk. I want to have that relationship piece with my students. I just feel like sixth graders understand you. I feel like they crave that attention. They're trying to be grown. They're not quite grown yet, but they are trying to be there, and I get to be a part of that. I get to be a part of who they're becoming. I know that 20 years from now, these children will not know me, but I do know that I will be a part of who they become, and I have touched their lives, and in hopes that I have touched the lives that they touch.
I say my name is Brooke Wilson. I teach Spanish, Spanish 2 and Spanish 4 at USC College. I wanted to become a teacher because I love teenagers. I knew that I always wanted to do something with students and teenagers the ages of 14 to 18. And then I've always loved the Spanish language as well, watching children really with my grandmother and learning the language. And I love mixing them together, amazing. And a lot of times when people ask, what do you teach? And you say high school, they're like, oh gosh, that's gotta be hard, but it's absolutely incredible, because this is one of the absolute best jobs that you could ever have. You don't do it for the income, you do it for the outcome. But if you take care of so many people, and you're so many different types of teachers, mom, teacher, counselor, nurse, babysitter, nurse, building members, I'm good. And so the biggest thing that I would say is the work will always be there. Make sure you take care of yourself, but it's more important to help yourself. So just make sure you take care of yourself, be free, and set boundaries. That's the biggest thing in life.
The job, you know, if you want to say about it before, and then not let it hold you, not rest of you. So better allow you to help the students and you coach. So what I know now that I wish that I knew before I was a teacher is, so I went to high school. I graduated in 2013. I wish that I would have known how much work, heart, and soul that you just put into their lessons. Because, you know, students are just, you don't see them, you know, you don't, your teacher comes in for the day and you don't know what they're going through, what they've been through, which is great. But I would definitely say I wish I could have just told them thank you. I wish I would have known how much work and heart and soul actually goes behind this job. Because you didn't know the teachers find something to talk to them for that. And the lessons and the activities, and they give their 100% all day, every day. And you're asked the same question every million times, and you know, you have to do the same thing over and over, but it's so worth it. And so I wish I could just go back and say, thank you. And, you know, I would just say thank you. I really appreciate it. Because now I understand, you know, now I understand.
All right, our 2023-2024 Teachers of the Year. We give them a round of applause. All right, teachers, I know that was hard enough to watch yourself on screen, but now we're going to ask you to come to the front of the room if you would. So, from you at Trussville High School, Brooklyn Bowman. From Hewitt Trussville Middle School, Charlotte Booker. Maine Elementary School, Hannah Lutz. Magnolia Elementary School, Hannah Walker. And Cahaba Elementary School, Kylie Collins. If we could, for the picture, if we could have the building principal, if you would come up and please join your teacher of the year.
Sweater that next dog.
I think what Dr. Faust is saying is next year she would like to have a heads up. We give them an applause, please.
I think when you keep hearing the word passion, love, calling over and over, I think we have the right people in the right spot. Congratulations to all of y'all. Thank you all.
And our final recognition for this evening, the state recently had the College A+ Ready Conference that took place, and we had several of our teachers that were recipients of awards. And so I asked Dr. Barry if she would come up and introduce those teachers for us.
Thank you, Dr. Martin. Okay, guys, so as Dr. Martin said, A+ recently recognized several of our teachers for history and science, and so I'd like to recognize the following teachers. And really, the recognition kind of comes on the heels of qualifying scores that our students earn for AP. So that would be a 3, 4, 5, 5 being the highest. And so I'll give you some statistics too, because I think it's really important for you guys to hear this. It's pretty incredible what they were able to accomplish to help our kids. So, so come forward, please. Most outstanding AP government teacher, Steph Strutt. Everybody's been with us in high school for this is going on his 12th year, and just some stats. 68 exams given and 57 of those, qualifying scores from him. That's pretty outstanding. It's a great job, Ms. Rupp. Okay, also, while he's standing here, as the honors go on, he was also recognized, as, most outstanding teachers for AP World History as well. Okay, and I'd also like his colleague Abby Kirkland to please join him. He was also recognized. And so Abby has been with Trussville for third year in PCS. And so combined, they had 50 students with qualifying scores out of 58 exams. Wow, that's pretty awesome. If I could have, please have, let's see, let's go to this one. Most outstanding teachers for AP US history. If I can have, Mr. Haynes and, Ms. Parr, please come forward. Mr. Haynes, also 12th year in Trussville, and so is Ms. Parr, so they're both 12th year in Trussville, and they had combined 71 out of 90 qualifying scores, so 71 students out of 90 exams, which is amazing. Great. All right, so that's our history teacher, so we can give them a round of applause, please. All right, let's jump over to science. So if I can have Ms. Melanie Dinworth come forward, please. Melanie is in her 12th year at PCS. She teaches Physics 1, AP Physics 1, Physics 2, and Physics C. So she definitely has her hands full in the physics department. All of her students combined were able to score 70 out of 117 exams given. So once again, that's outstanding. So great job. Can I have Felicia Gullidge to come forward, please? Ms. Gullidge is our AP student. Her 15th year in Trussville. And out of 34 exams given, Ms. Gullidge has all 34 of her students to receive a qualified. And last but not least, we have Mr. Kurt Christensen, who's here tonight. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and give him a shout out as well. He is his 9th year in Trussville as an AP biology teacher. And he had 44 out of 50 qualifying scores. So once again, outstanding. I know many of these teachers very well, and it's such a great thing to have them here in Trussville. They work super hard. I know my daughters, who are no longer in Trussville, but went through Trussville City Schools, had many of the teachers that we just talked about, and they're outstanding all of it. So thank you all for everything you do. Congratulations. Okay,
One of the recognitions, I think, Walter, goes forward to Josh Ford, named Coach of the Year for 7A, and I think that was an outstanding recognition. This is not really like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Martin, the next is, financial, instruction.
In your packet tonight, you have the November monthly financial report and summary check registration to review. All bank accounts have been reconciled, financial extract in the state department with all necessary items. Just as a sort of information, expenditure can transfer out in the general fund. For month end, about 16.73% of our budget compared to 15.5% this time last year. And the biggest reason for that increase is supplement that award, to get employees. So, thank you for doing that for our employees. Another point, our annual audit has begun. It is a long process, so we won't come to an end till late winter, early spring, but we make communications, we know from auditors about the system and about the how things operate, and so I want to let you know that it's email is an important part of the process. And as always, upon approval of the monthly financial report, I'll upload it to the website, the Thank you.
The next item is our consent agenda. You all have an opportunity to refer to the consent agenda. So I will take a motion to approve it. So, second. I think any discussion that one.
I do, just a few items to point out here under the consent agenda. Board members have an opportunity to review all of the field trips for each one of our 5 schools. Mr. Kirkland there, item number 6, those 2 are audit. And we have an engagement letter from our auditor, Carl Ingram. The next item under that, you will see a new business action item. And that is for a new driver's ed vehicle. Item number 7 under consent agenda surpluses the current driver's ed vehicle. And I commend Mr. Kirkland for working with one of our local dealers to work out that arrangement for what was a needed driver's ed vehicle there. Just a couple more items. Let's see here, approve a change order number 8 for fencing at the soccer field. I wanted to point that out because as you're driving around town, members of the board will notice that those projects are starting to get very close to being completed. So I believe we have an OAC, owner architect contractor meeting tomorrow. And so hopefully those projects are wrapping up here relatively soon. And then the last item that I have there, approval letter of agreement to be Infinity Authority to file E-rate on behalf of Trussville City Schools. This is the contract for E-rate services provided to administrative fees. So that's something that we have been doing for a while. I believe Infinity purchased E-rate 360, who was the entity that provided the service in your class. So that's it. That is everything for consent agenda.
Any additional discussion? All right, all in favor of adopting the consent agenda, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is personnel.
Yes, members of the board, you have a copy of the personnel report, and I just go through our headings there, and you can see what our personnel report entails. But we do have resignation, retirement, reassignment, and transfer. We have 4 requests for a leave of absence. 5 requests for leave of absence. Amend effective dates currently that have been approved by the Board of Education. 2 long-term substitution requests, 1 stipend, 4 recommendations for employment, 3 employee extra services agreement, 2 schedule changes, and 2 sign. And that's what makes up our personnel report this evening.
Okay, I'd like to approve the personnel report. Second. Second. None, then I'm all in favor of adopting the personnel report, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's our first action item under new business. Members of the board can see is the 24-25 TCS school district calendar. I have asked Dr. Booth if she would give us an update prior to
We have taken all the feedback from you and from lots of teachers and parents. We want to pass that to our committee and talking students. And so we are proposing our final 24-25 opportunity. We'll start school August 1st. We put the fall break back in, as well as follow that next to that with the teacher collaboration and conference opportunities. End of the year, still December 20th, so that takes us down 90 days each term, it makes it very equal. We kept the street right there it was, and put in again that, kind of a spring day with the teacher collaboration and parent conference day next to that. And so getting out and board, Memorial Day, and we do Thursday, 2 o'clock for late, we got lots of feedback on that, so we come back on Thursday. Additionally, we will see when they get the calendar the dates that are already additional testing for high school, so they'll know when students are there. And when students will have learning days. And we also requested that our IT department, Ms. Misha, is putting together a visually friendly, easily readable format for our calendar so that people can see that. Any questions?
Thank you for all the hard work and the feedback, accepting the feedback. And moving that around. All right. Okay, I will entertain a motion to adopt the calendar as Dr. Gibby just put in. Second? Any further discussion about it? Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Ms. Simon?
All right, action item number 2, as members of the board can see, we have AASB policy review. And this was an action item, I believe it's been since 2016, since Board of Education policy has been reviewed. And I actually had entered into a conversation with Mr. Coleman about having his firm do this. We are fortunate that his colleague who is joining us this evening, this is my chance to introduce Melissa McKee. Melissa McKee is a partner with Bishop Coleman and works closely with Rick Coleman, as well as the School Board Association. So we get the best of both worlds. We get to work with the School Board Association on policy review, but that policy will be reviewed by Melissa McKee. So we see that as a value add. That's right. That's right. So I would bring to the Board of Education this evening a recommendation to approve the policy.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve it? Second? Any discussion? All right, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, motion carries.
Action item number 3 here, you can see before the Board of Education is a recommendation for the purchase of 5 buses. And I had asked Mr. Kirkland if he would share with the board about this, as well as how we can maximize fleet renewal to the best of our ability.
Currently, we have approximately 65 buses, 50 of which are older than 10 years, meaning that we do not receive the funding for those. So we are quickly trying to purchase buses when it's financially able to do so. So tonight, we are asking approval to purchase 5 buses. We're doing something a little different this year. We're using full contract instead of putting out a bid ourselves. We found that the prices are significantly different and the headaches are much less. Just go ahead and purchasing off the full contract. So, what you know which company they're coming from the other, generally transportation stuff. And the standard size. Oh, I think there's a 72 passengers. And how long do you think it would be before they would actually get there? I think it said 14 month bill. They're out a lot longer than they used to. We're not getting into the electronic vehicle yet. They're still.
Motion to approve the purchase of the ballot. Second? Any further discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
And our next action item number 4 is for the purchase of the driver's ed vehicle. I know Mr. Kirkland just wanted to speak to this, but I do need to make sure that I mentioned we are very appreciative of Ferguson for offering very competitive pricing. I'm sure you're going to say that as well, but they do a very nice job of supporting local city schools and have done so in this case.
Out of curiosity, how many drivers did you want to do?
Well, since you already approved the distribution with everyone. Really need to approve this tonight. We need an extra gift.
Okay.
The vehicles we have are still, good cars, but they were 2007. So they were very old cars, the high school, and the high school drivers, the teachers and our mechanics, they took care of them. But it was time to get used. And you may remember we purchased one back in summer to start of school, and I have heard great things from the teachers and students who have driven the new car versus the old car. This one will be, almost identical to the white car instead of the black car, but same, size, make, and everything. And again, our partnership, within, relationship, courtesy, unity, is measured possible and do this right, the training, for the,
Currently at the Dodge, correct, what you want?
GT.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Mr. King had to, rule out the student's recommendation for a Corvette. He did go with the King, correct.
We need a little bit more, labor.
I don't understand it. Good, all right, can I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase of the new driver? Second. Any discussion on that? All right, all in favor, please say aye. Okay.
Our final action item for this evening is for, 2 work vehicles,
Again, our recommendation is to purchase, the service truck off of state bid. Typically, we buy service trucks off of, the state contract. Originally, we were going to request 1 truck, but unfortunately, mechanics was in an accident a week and a half ago. Luckily, everybody was okay in the accident, except for his truck. And the other reason, so we're having to call that out. So we need to do something. But, we got on, the state.
All right, resolution. Second. Discussion. The president, our coming up. All right, let's say all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. All right, now you have to. All right, let's see, that all, everything on the, okay, administrative report. Daniel, how was the AASB district meeting?
So I know you were all here,
Yes.
but I had the opportunity to represent the board at the annual business meeting of the Association of Alabama Association of Schools. So basically, 20-minute meeting, I will present some housekeeping items, including an enforcement present, all the exciting things that we have done this year, and then nominating committee bylaw committee and resolution. With all items for putting to out. All
right. Sounds like an entertaining evening. Thank you for attending on our behalf. Appreciate that. All right, now, Martin State of School, or Spring State of School meeting.
Yes, I was just gonna take board members through this. In my December update to the community, I shared that our format in the spring will be a little bit different. In the fall, we've been Board of Education, team member headings, just in terms of our administrative reports. And so in the spring, we'll have an opportunity to hear from each of our principals. I have my state of the school address on January 18th, and then as board members can see here in the packet, we have each one of the principals providing a highlight of the items that are going on in each of their schools. So I'm very appreciative to our principals for doing that.
All right, let's see, we do not have anyone signed up for public participation in this evening, so thank you all for being here. Merry Christmas to everyone, and thank you all for all that you're doing for our schools, and, I guess with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. All right. Merry Christmas.